Welcome into another edition of Cheers to Baseball here on the Atlanta Braves Radio Network alongside Chris Domino, Kevin McAlpin here. Talking all things Braves, Chris, as we are now officially in the home stretch, man. 37 games left to go in the regular season, and for all that has seemingly gone wrong for this ball club, tack on another to that in Austin Riley this week with him landing on the injured list. Here they are, still a playoff team, still getting great starting pitching. Bullpen's been outstanding. So you and I discussed this last night. We've talked about it a few times. For a team that doesn't have a lot of their offensive pieces left, the pitching certainly keeping them around, making things interesting down the stretch.
13 strikeouts, no walks. She bottled up 2 or 3 of their best hitters all night long. And, you know, we talked about it. You have to win that game. You're not perhaps going to be thumping people. And the analogy I used is the boxer analogy. You got to know what kind of fighter you are. You got to know if you're a guy who has a big punch. Braves don't have a big offensive punch right now. So win the decision. You know, if you win a fight by a decision, it's still a win. In baseball, there aren't really style points. Just know who you are. I don't think, you know, they got a cut. They got a deep cut over the eye. They broke a knuckle, and nobody cares because the fight's going to go on. And it's a month plus worth of baseball. Not much in the plus department. I'm looking forward. I keep saying I'm interested. Last night was one of those nights where my guy was a tick better than their guy, and that was enough to win. My bullpen was perfect coming out 3 times, Grant Holmes including a 2-inning stint. Yeah. And that game would have been, I'll just say it would have been shitty to kick that one away, because that would have been one that you look back and you go, well, that's not going to help. And it's not about catching the Phillies for me. It's about accumulating any wins against anybody who you happen to be playing.
Yeah, you mentioned a knuckle. There's a knuckle, there's a hamstring, there's a wrist, there's a hand, there's an elbow.
It's like the game of Operation.
It
really is. If anybody knows the reference, I'm sorry, old guy reference. But if you know the game of Operation, there's something all over the place. But the fight's still going on.
Yeah.
Nobody's throwing in the towel. Nobody's quitting. You know, it's not an out. It's not an excuse. You just have to fight differently now.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I look at it, is you just have to be a different type of fighter now.
You really do. You got to find a way. And as Snit joked, we're running out of next man up. I mean, it's tough. I guess if there's good news from the timing of Riley's injury, it coincides with, oh, by the way, Gio Urshela just got released from the Tigers. Sometimes, as we joke, these things sort of take care of themselves in the baseball world, and this seems like another one of those.
And Soler had a pinch-hitting appearance.
Yeah.
So that's the other part where you're hoping to get a little bit of thump. Look, do I want the guy that's replacing my guy to be hitting 8th? No. Is it the best you can do? Seems to be, so go do it. And that's, again, you can't, I'm just going to say, you cannot lose a game when you strike out 13 guys, only walk 1.
Right.
You can't. You've got to find enough offense to do it. And again, I'm shocked. Zach Wheeler, talented pitcher, smart catcher. I know their coaching staff talked about Marcell Ozuna beforehand. I think what happened is you got comfortable. You struck him out twice.
Yeah.
I think you poked, literally, figuratively, the bear one too many times. And I don't mean throw 4 fingers down and send him to first to start an inning. I'm just a little bit surprised they threw anything on the plate the way that they did.
And Marcell Ozuna, realistically, I mean, if this is July and we're going, well, he's right there in a triple crown race, you go, yeah, but you got half a season. You got less than 6 weeks, and he is right there, leads the National League in average, leads the National League with 94 ribs, and he's a couple of homers shy of Shohei Ohtani, which I don't know if you caught this soundbite last night. He called him a robot. He said, that guy's a robot. I'm not even worried about the Triple Crown because he can go off and hit 3 home runs in a row at any time. Mm-hmm. But here he is, Triple Crown watch for Ozuna. Same can be said about Chris Sale. Whoever saw that coming for a guy who has struggled to stay on the field the last 4 years?
Yeah, the only problem is if you would have said those things back in March, how many games am I up?
Right.
Because all I need is okay from everybody else. Well, then I would tell you who everybody isn't. Not who everybody else is, but who everybody else isn't. And you would go, oh, that doesn't sound very good. Again, you've got to stave off people. There are a couple of teams that I don't think are as good as you that you have to stave off. A couple of times you're going to get to push them back. We just saw that happen directly with San Francisco. Philadelphia, to me, it's not about chasing them. It's about keeping everybody else a little bit further away and trying to move up where you're not necessarily in that last spot. You know, we joke all the time. You know, the line is, I don't have to be faster than the lion. I just got to be faster than you. And if I'm in the first or second wild card spot, somebody's going to eat you before they eat me. They got to work a little bit harder to come get to me. Yeah. So that's what I'm sort of thinking about for the Braves. Don't be in the most vulnerable of positions.
And what's incredible is for all that has gone against this team this year, you look at the standings, you look at the win-loss records, and I look at a team like the Dodgers, who I think a lot of folks felt like, hands down, they are clearly in another level than everybody else in the game. They only have 8 more wins than the Braves at this point here with 5.5 weeks to go. And I say only, and I know they've been banged up as well. But if I would have told you that for everything that's gone wrong, L.A., with a little over 5 weeks left, is only going to have 8 more wins than you, pretty incredible.
Every team that could have been called the best team at some point this year has had a slump, like a legitimate slump. Every pitcher this side of Chris Sale has had that, and even Sale had the game that you want to throw out. How many of those do you avoid? Well, last night, avoiding the loss there was one of those games that, and as bad as Colorado was, and I know we're going to keep going back to that Sunday game, I think you could have worse losses. That's the worst. I can't believe it was them. I can't believe it was the lead. All you had to do, it was the last game of a road trip. What the hell were you guys thinking? But I think, in my mind, losing last night would have been every bit as bad as the Colorado loss. Totally different set of circumstances. It would read different as a book, but the last page is going to be the same. The Butler did it. The Butler did it. There would have been the same ending. It just would have been a different story to get you to that point.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, look, they were able to find a way to win last night. It was a low-scoring affair. It was a great ball game. Another good one tonight. Nola and Freed.
Laureano.
Yeah. Where'd that come from?
Well, he looked like he was being controlled by an outside force.
Like the video game controller?
Yeah, it looked like he was, somebody just said, well, watch this. I'm going to make him run over here and run over there, and then he's going to make a play. As opposed to what the Mets, we can joke about it, but, every once in a while, I don't know. I do know because I read the paper this morning. I went online and I read some of the New York stuff. You can't boot a game away like that. Mm-hmm. And there's no guarantee that we're going to win it, but you can't lose it like that. Just like the Braves couldn't lose it like that in Colorado. Yeah. That's one of those that you don't get back. Like that's in the L column. You can't diminish wins and losses. They don't take them away. They are what they are. It's like what I tell my kids, there's no such thing as delete. You won that game, you lost that game. It exists forever as a win or a loss.
Yep. Even if you get a win stripped away from you from a collegiate association, they're going to take it away. Guess what? You still won the game. You still got the party.
Oh, it happened.
It happened. I don't care. You can take it away all you want. The hell does it bother me for?
And the Mets found a way to lose a baseball game last night.
Hate to see that. I just hate to see it. Hate it. It's funny, too, because all those people that were just all up in my mentions when the Mets went in front of the Braves, I don't know where they've gone.
Well, you know where they've gone. They'll be back when it's appropriate. Back
in their little holes. They've gone back in their tunnels.
Okay.
I know where they're
I'm not going to play the game. Listen, I just know now for 35-plus games, the Atlanta Braves have made it more interesting than maybe any of us would want it to be. But winning 104 games didn't do them anything last year. Maybe coming in, finding a way to get in is going to be the way to go. See Arizona last season as well.
Just got to get into
Texas.
Yeah, just got to get in, right?
Yeah. Oh, by the way, and I don't know if anybody gambles out there, but I would tell you this. You can get good money, much like anybody in the NFL, if you want to do it now. Go. If you think you know who's winning the World Series, you don't. That's the first thing. But if you're looking to go play odds, if you're looking to go play a number, I mean, I don't want to say I bet the Braves a month ago.
But you're not going to say you didn't.
I'm not going to say I didn't, but I also played 2 other teams. I played 2 other teams in baseball. It doesn't matter who they are.
Yeah.
I got good number value on them because here's what I believe. If you're going to give me that kind of value on a team, okay, I think you're handing me an opportunity. I don't like betting chalk anyway, but if you give me a number that seems excessive, I'll go play it. The Braves had a number that was a little bit excessive. When they fell to power ranking, stupidest thing in the world, but I think they fell to 12, like according to the people who do these things. And I said, you know what that means? That means some people in Vegas are going to believe that they have much less of a chance to win a World Series than they really do. I'm betting on the come. You got to get in, though.
Yep.
My almost supposed ticket would be worthless if they're not in the postseason. Get to the postseason, I'll be happy with it.
I would love to see you cash an almost pretend useless ticket. I would love to see that be a case for you.
Thank you.
Maybe if you do, maybe you can get me a bottle of Old Dominic.
I will. How about this? I'll throw the party.
Oh, wow.
I will supply the booze.
All right. Well, hey, listen.
Give me a call.
If anybody out there is throwing a party, because we know football's coming this weekend. Matter of fact, football is back. We are here. We've got playoff baseball right around the corner. You've got all kinds of other sports kicking off. It's a great time of year. And I can say that if you're having people over, maybe you're just watching it by yourself. Mm-hmm. Chris, Old Dominic. Get yourself some Old Dominic. They are the best of the best, man.
Sold. I got I plan on enjoying the fall a little bit more than ever this year. I really do. I plan on enjoying what's going on locally.
Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to the 12-team playoff in college football. I'm looking forward to a whole lot of it. So there's a chance that, I don't know, as I like to say, I might not invite you over. It doesn't mean you're not invited. But if you do come over, don't ask me to do anything.
Yeah.
There's the refrigerator. There's the bar. Help yourself.
And if you are going somewhere, take a bottle with you.
Oh,
Don't
yeah,
show up
don't-
empty-handed. We've talked about that. Don't be that guy that just shows up and, hey, everybody, what are we drinking? Don't be that guy. Bring you some old Dominic.
Can I give you a little,
Life lesson?
yeah,
Please.
public service announcement? Public service announcement. When you go to somebody's house and you say, look what I have what I'm going to drink. Now, there should be something left. You should be leaving something there. If somebody chooses to drink it in front of you, that's fine. Don't bring your 4 beers and go, hey, man, I'm here. Just weak.
Yeah.
Just weak.
Don't be that guy.
Yeah, don't show up empty-handed. You're an adult now, by the way. You're an adult. Seriously, act like it. That's all.
There you go.
Speaking of adults, you know what? I got a 21-year-old.
You
today.
do. Congratulations,
Today.
by the way.
My daughter's 21 years old today.
Well,
you know what
you got to bring her some old Dominic.
you know what she's going to be asking for? Dad, I know you do some work with those liquor companies. Is there a chance that maybe you? We'll see. We'll see. How are your grades? How are your grades? That's what I was telling first.
Yeah.
I ask, how are your grades? Yeah. When I know that they stop asking for something for a little bit, I got to check in on the grades.
And your problem is, you told me the other night, they know how to Venmo themselves right out of your bank
Couldn't
account.
believe it.
So they don't
Couldn't
have
believe
to,
it.
They don't have to even ask you for
Couldn't
money
believe
anymore.
it.
They just take it.
Couldn't even believe it.
Yeah.
Could
That's
not
incredible.
believe it. Yeah. I was like, huh? Somebody was explaining, oh, no. If they have your Venmo account, they can just send it to themselves. I was like, is this the thing? I'm thinking about bringing one of my daughters up on charges.
Yeah.
I really am. I'm not even
Theft.
kidding about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's at least a misdemeanor. Pretty close to a felony.
Yeah.
And thank God your mother, listen, I don't look. Your mother does. Your mother does.
Is that wire fraud? Is that what that is?
It's something. You can't pretend to be me.
Parents, be careful. If you have kids with technology, don't end up like Chris Domino. Don't end up having your Venmo just sending them money willy-nilly whenever you want.
It's so incredible. Listen, I almost want to give her points for, hey, it's pretty smart. Because she knows I don't look.
Right. Yeah.
Took my wife to go, why did you Venmo her? I was like, I didn't.
Bringing her up on
To the bottom of that.
Bringing her up on charges. Yeah.
Thinking about it.
Throw away the key.
So everybody, listen, let's have fun for the next handful plus of weeks. Football started, certainly. Get yourself some brown liquor. Buy some vodka. They got vodka,
You got
too.
that too, yeah.
And then let's watch Braves baseball.
Looking forward to it. The home stretch is here. Football is back. We've got a lot to get to, and we'll continue talking about it with you right here on Cheers to Baseball, presented by Old Dominic.